Hi there, everybody. We're here with Tim from Longboat Key Turtle Watch, and we're talking about our beloved turtles. Everybody loves our turtles, especially during nesting season when you're watching
Yep, it's very
all the
exciting.
nests. Yeah, it's very exciting. What's the history of the turtle program?
So Longboat Key Turtle Watch started around 1969. A couple retired guys were living on the beach, a Gulfside Road at north end of Longboat Key, and they were seeing a few turtles, very few, and there were a total of 9 nests on Longboat Key that year.
That's it?
Yep,
Wow.
9 nests.
Wow.
They all hatched. Kit Furnell, Orville Clayton, and Tom McCrane, they kept being interested. They pursued this, and then they started keeping records, and then eventually Fish and Wildlife got involved. So they were like, oh, let's keep an eye on this. This is all illegal now. I'm be transparent. This is not permitted today, but they were learning. They would take the eggs from the nests on the beach in styrofoam coolers and put them in someone's backyard. Keep an eye on them so the raccoons and things didn't get them. But they were trying to protect the nests, and then when they hatched, they would take the hatchlings back to the shore. We went from having a few nests on Longboat Key. I started walking 20 some years ago. Now we have well over 1,000 nests every year. So the Endangered Species Act was in 1973, so that stopped some of the bycatch that happens with fishing, stopped some of that, so those turtles then were able to reproduce. So we're seeing some of the effects of that now. At one point in time, the state did get involved and they started issuing permits to do nesting sea turtle inventory. Longboat Key Turtle Watch had the permit for the Manatee County section of Longboat Key. Mote Marine got more involved, as you would expect. Mote does a lot of great things.
Yeah, they do.
They were doing permitted activity in the Sarasota County part of Longboat Key and all the beaches along Sarasota County. So Longboat Key Turtle Watch partnered with them, and now the permit for Longboat Key is held by Mote Marine.
Yeah.
We do things on the beach, but when we're on the beach, we're working under the state-issued permit that Mote Marine holds, and they train us as well. Our role is to go out and provide education. We go to schools, we go to public groups, we go to Rotary clubs. We go all kinds of places trying to educate people. We're about 50 people today. I was president for a number of years. Just recently, great transition. We got a new president. Jeff Driver's our president now. Great guy. He's a scientist, been doing this for years as well.
It's not uncommon to see a turtle here. I mean, I was driving through Lakewood Ranch and I saw a turtle down the road, and I considered myself educated and informed, and I know not to touch nests, but I didn't know what to do. And so, I know this is a very broad question, but you see a turtle, you're on the beach, you're on the road. What is the general consensus in the world? Or you see it flipped over. What do you do?
So I can speak with much more knowledge about sea turtles than I can with land turtles.
Okay.
But if you see an adult sea turtle on the beach at night or early in the morning, it's 99% going to be a female turtle that's coming in to nest or look for an activity to nest. You want to stay as far away from it as you can and behind it. Their vision is somewhat compromised out of the water, but they still see shapes, and they will be frightened by a person being there. They would not like that, so that might cause them to give up their attempt to nest. Once they start to nest, they dig a big hole. It takes about an hour. You can watch that from behind quietly with no lights. If it appears to be injured, if it appears that it has an issue, then you should call FWC, and they will have an appropriate person come and respond. You yourself, for an adult sea turtle, there's nothing you're going to be able to do. They weigh several hundred pounds. You're going to leave it be. If it's turned over, again, you would need help to turn it over. That's an extremely rare event.
Okay.
On the other hand, if you see a small hatchling, so we have well over 1,000 nests on the beach. Each nest has about 100 hatchlings in it.
Wow.
The hatchlings, their instinct is to come up out of the sand at night when it's dark, when the sand cooled off because the sun went down, and their instinct is to go away from the dark towards the light. So the dune should be dark and the water should be light because things reflect off the light. If you see a hatchling that's going towards the grass, going towards a condominium, going towards a hotel, you should call somebody from FWC. In an emergency situation, if you pick that hatchling up and put it in some sand, put it in a bucket that you might have, put it in some sand and put a cover over it so it's quiet until someone comes, that would be, in an emergency situation, that would be something you could do to help a hatchling that was going the wrong way. If they're going towards the water, don't interfere with them. They have extreme energy, they have extreme survival instincts. They'll do that.
So I imagine, since this program is growing, you've saved a lot of turtles. Is there any way to quantify the number?
I'm a retired accountant. I'd have to defer to the scientists. There are research papers written about this. We do believe education and awareness makes a big difference.
Yeah.
When people are on the beach, simple things like filling in the hole. Like, I'm still a kid at heart. When I'm on the beach, I like to build a castle with a moat around it and have water in it. A hatchling would fit in the palm of my hand. If a hatchling got to that moat around that sandcastle, it could get stuck in there and not get out. We just ask people to fill the holes in. There's things we can all do. Fill the holes in, make the beach as natural as possible, pull your chairs back, pull things back up to the dune line, take them home. Don't leave any debris that might attract raccoons or coyotes, things that would come out to eat if you left debris that can also impact hatchlings. We have a lot of visitors. We're a great place. People come.
Yeah.
Getting the word out of what you can do while you're here visiting, you can make a difference. Keeping the beach natural, keeping it dark, that can really help.
Let's talk about the lights, because I think people don't really understand the light situation.
Unfortunately, Longboat Key is one of the worst beaches in the state for what's called disorientations. So when hatchlings, when they emerge from the nest, as I said earlier, their instinct is to go away from the dark, which would be the dunes, and towards the light. You being on the beach with your phone, we all carry our phones all the time, right?
Yeah.
And you're on the beach and, oh, you want to tell someone you're on the beach. That light of your phone is enough to distract a sea turtle. Closing your blinds, keeping your blinds closed can make a big difference. There is sky glow, so we have ambient light that comes from neighboring communities. That can be a problem too, and that's harder to prevent. There's an initiative called Go Slow for those below. So when we're boating, keep polarized glasses on, go slowly. We're striking a lot of turtles that are in the bay, in the Gulf, near shore. So during nesting season, loggerhead sea turtles and green sea turtles, the two species we have most active in our areas, they're very close to shore and they're slow moving. They can duck underwater when they see a boat, but if you're going very fast, they may not be able to duck down and your prop might strike them. So we're asking people to go slow so we don't strike the turtles. Keep someone that's observing. Just like you'd have a water skier, you'd have an observer. Have someone observing when you're in New Pass, when you're along the shore. Have someone observing, looking for the turtles. Ooh, there's a turtle, that's great. And then go slow, because that's another big thing. We're striking turtles that die from the boat strikes.
So people, move here and they want to get involved. What are ways that they can get involved with your organization?
During the season, Longboat Key Turtle Watch hosts free public walks Saturday mornings. The details will be on our website, Longboat Key Turtle Watch.
Okay.
There are free public walks on Saturday morning. One of our most experienced walkers, she's a former school teacher. She runs these walks. It's a great way to come out and learn, see what's happening. It's not all on the beach in the morning. We go out to schools, we go out to different institutions and do education, and we're always looking for people who are comfortable talking in the public. We'll get you up to speed on the knowledge. We have scripts, we have, vetted talking points that we give to folks. And then Moat Marine. Moat Marine has need for volunteers. They do an awful lot to help educate and things like that as well. And then just keeping the lights off, keeping the beach natural, keeping the debris off, picking up fishing line, things like that. We can all, you see something on the beach, pick it up, put it in your bag, take it off the beach. That's something we can always do.
Fantastic. Well, this has been really informative, especially the cell phone. I didn't realize the cell phone, the light from the cell phone. So you learn something every time, and I consider myself pretty informed. So thank you so much for being with us today. You can find his contact details below, and we'll see you on the next one.